Second that motion.
What I have here is I have
All in
copies.
favor?
I have copies of both leases. Stephen, I'm gonna put, I've got a page here for one signature for the town of Lubec and one signature for Carol.
Authorize you as administrator to sign the town. Is that okay with you, Carol? Is that okay with the board?
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate the things that you've done down there. Look forward to working with you.
We just got notification today that the ship grant's gonna have money.
Oh,
So we have another grant to work on.
If you really want the increased docking facility, which we desperately need, we're just gonna work on it, that's all.
We'll be at the harbor board meeting next.
Good.
are you still going out or is that?
Oh, until, yes, the middle of October.
Oh,
We try not to get in the way of the draggers though, so we're gonna pull the boat out at the beginning of October.
thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Discuss with that committee.
Yeah, I had conversations with members of the Harvest Towel Committee. And I wanted to use this as an opportunity to remind people that in order for a committee to be under the town, they must truly be under the town and under the Board of Selectmen. The committee members must be appointed by the Board of Selectmen. The Board of Selectmen must approve the events prior. And a lot of it is just so that the board understands what the events are, and we have that communication because in order to be covered under the town's insurance, MMA wants to know that, you know, certain events, perhaps something like a truck pull or something, they would not wholeheartedly offer to support. So the Harvest Towel sent up a list of their committee members. I'd like to have the selectmen read the list and decide to appoint them so we can cover them under the town insurance. They also have a listing of events that they're going to have for the Harvest Towel. The other thing I'd like to ask the select board is, you know, to consider having a policy on committees. So we can put together a written document, whether it's the Harvest Towel, the 4th of July, that we would pass out to each committee and just make sure that they understand the guidelines going forward. This way here, should a committee have an event that's not covered under our insurance and something happens, you know, now we have a serious issue. But if we've got that communication going forward, I think that would resolve a lot.
Since we don't have a policy, I think telling them that we need this information is kind of bogus, because I've been in charge of, I couldn't count how many groups and committees, and I always like to inform the board, but since it's not a policy, telling that committee that they must present this information, which I don't have a problem, we should know what's going on.
Right.
But we have no teeth to make them give us that info since we don't have a policy yet.
I think the policy needs to be done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I mean,
The insurance company is breathing down Johnstown for this type of information.
Understandable, but I think we've gone about it a little bit.
Well, yes, probably.
Now's,
we have.
yeah, I mean, now's the time to correct it. I mean, if the selectmen want to approve the events tonight, and if they want to appoint the committee members, then we're going to be in compliance. Yes.
Are these events are all events we've done before, correct? Now they're just saying that we need insurance to cover
Well,
when
to
it's
be
under
covered
that.
under, to be covered under the town insurance, the events have to be approved by the Board of Selectmen.
We need to approve dressing up as a scarecrow because there's an insurance rider on that.
No, we need to approve the event. We need to approve the people who are the committee members and the events listed. And like anything else, the insurance companies are getting more and more strict. That's the way the world's going. Now, one of the things that comes up every once in a while is someone wants to do an event that cannot be approved by the insurance company. And this thing of a policy, as Sarah said, is a little backwards. We sort of got the cart before the horse. But rather than hold up having events, we'd rather do it this way, if the board has no objection.
I have no objection to the committee members. I was just wondering if John had been supplied with guidelines on events that they deemed were insurable.
I can tell you some of the events that are not insurable. One year we had a person who wanted to have what he called hoochie-coochie dancers, and that was deemed not acceptable. We've from time to time had people who want to do beer tents, and those aren't acceptable. So, you know, I mean, yes, there are guidelines. Yes, we are going about it backwards. But rather than hold up the harvest how we would like to do.
I make a motion, we approve what is presented from the Harvest Howell Committee.
And there's no hoochie coochie.
I think we should do it as two motions. I make a motion, we accept the committee members.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Committee members will be on their own budget because we've got some.
All in favor of accepting the Lubec Harvest Owl events, contests, and committee members? Can we do that, Betty?
No, committee members.
Okay, all right.
Events and contests.
Events and contests.
Second that.
All in favor?
So everybody knows, the Harvest Howell is scheduled for September 28th with a rain date of the 29th.
Okay, and the committee members will be accepted later? Betty?
Yes, I have a whole list of
Okay,
appointments to do.
Okay. all right.
Okay. John, before we go on to the agenda, I don't see that Crystal is on our agenda, and if she could go next, I think that would be appropriate,
Okay.
so that she
Wanna
can get
introduce
on
her?
through.
My name is Crystal Hitchings. I work with the Washington County Council of Governments. We're located in Calais, and among the many things that we do for our communities here in Washington County are grant writing and assistance with planning efforts. And the reason I'm here tonight is to talk about some planning assistance that we have provided, not for the town, but it is something that the town is going to be able to utilize for your own benefit if you so choose. We conducted a bicycle and pedestrian facility assessment throughout the town, mainly focused on the downtown area, looking at the sidewalks and shoulders and roads as far as bicycle and pedestrian access and safety goes. And I have a PowerPoint presentation to show some maps and photographs. So I'm just going to take a second here to open this up. I'm just going to project right onto the wall. Hopefully you'll be able to see it all. So this study was funded by the DOT, and it's essentially focused on safe routes to school aspects of bike and pedestrian safety, but in looking at the routes that children would take and the way that children would get to school, we're able to encompass adults and also adult users and children users with disabilities or limitations. So, Bicycle Friendly Lubec is a group that was just begun begun at the school. Lucas Rumler, I don't know if he's here tonight. No. Okay. Or if any of you who are associated with the school may know about this, but they've just started this program at the school where they would like to do these following things: install bike racks through the town, institute some bicycle safety training programs for the kids, give away bike helmets, and host some ride your bicycle to school days. They're mainly focused on biking to school, but the efforts that we put forth in this study will also look at walking to school. And so they asked us for some support, and that's why we went ahead with the study. And one of the things that they said to us in their grant application was that fewer than 5% of the students in Lubec walk to school, and none that they are aware of ride to school. So they want to change that. Also, in the 2003 comprehensive plan, the transportation policies stated a desire to improve the pedestrian environment and establish an integrated transportation plan, which includes pedestrian links and sidewalks, which also includes bicycling. So this effort, well, actually, in the 2003 comprehensive plan, as part of that, the Council of Governments did do a sidewalk assessment, and that was included in the plan, and this study kind of builds on what was done in 2003. So you'll see some of the photographs that were included in the comp plan are also here. So in a nutshell, the intended outcome is to identify and assess the most efficient and safe linkages between places in the community where the most people live, and again, focusing mainly on the downtown, looking at where the most people live and where are the places that the people need to go. We looked at, in selecting these routes, we looked at routes that already had existing sidewalks, and we looked at the degree of slope on the streets in the town, really thinking about little children and trying to ride their bikes up hills, and again, creating those direct connections between where people live and where people are going. We made some assumptions in the study, and the assumptions are that little kids would be riding on the sidewalk rather than on the shoulder of the street, and that older children and adults would use the streets and shoulders for their bike routes, and that all pedestrians, including people with wheelchairs, would use the sidewalks. In conducting this analysis, we looked at mainly barriers to bicycle and pedestrian mobility, focusing a lot on American Disability Act barriers, and we wanted to, at the end of this analysis, make for the community some short and long-term recommendations to overcome the challenges that we found, to assist the community in moving more quickly towards creating that comprehensive, well-flowing and safe route. And again, incorporating research from 2003. So thinking about ADA issues, we came upon this statistic that over 29% of Lubec's residents ages 5 and older have a disability. This information is from the year 2000. The census data has not been updated since then. So in 2000, almost a third of residents over the age of 5 have some sort of disability, and the information doesn't tell us if it's a physical disability or some other type of disability. So the sidewalk assessment is really looking at how people are physically able to get through the streets. And just to break that down a little bit for your information, 9 children ages 5 to 15 were in that disability group, and again, this Safer to School is really focusing on that age group. So there are 4% in 2002 of the children in the school system had some sort of disability, and almost 300 adults from 16 to 64, and then 137 ages 65 and older have some sort of disability. So we really focused on looking at those physical impediments to getting around town.